Hey everyone, welcome to the Pale Beyond. I'm DisturbingPuppet. So I've been feeling an urge for a while to play something a bit more story-driven. So we're going to start trying out the Pale Beyond, which is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. It looks like a pretty cool game. I loved the Terror show, which I think is probably a bit of an inspiration along with other horrible, horrifying stories of Arctic and Antarctic exploration. I'm not sure in this game if we're in the Arctic or the Antarctic. I guess we'll see. If I had to guess, I'd say Antarctic, but we'll find out as we progress. So either way, possible starvation, death, and madness await, so I guess we'll find out. I think this is more of like a story-driven game, so we will try to make decent decisions without being a complete scumbag. Kind of I'll do what feels natural to me. That may differ from what you want to do, so be it. Alright, let's start a game. Starting a new expedition. I don't know if there's randomness to like want to replay or not. See, it says branch 1 of 40. I don't know what that means. Okay. Got temperature gauges. That's kind of weird. Why is E here? Select a week to prune and delete. What? 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 Week 0. Okay, that's really bizarre. Yeah, something probably needs to change with that interface to start with. I would have to say I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, yeah, we're just going to play on normal. That's fine. Oh, the air be so cold. Okay, I have to click on it. Will the air be so cold, a flake and white, as a sailor begs their pledge? To the ice they'll pray that leads reveal some charted course ahead. Glory found and forged in frost, so that their tale may be spread. Hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely souls need lead. What will ye do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls, so help the gods out of the pale beyond. I wonder if that actually has an impact, like what you choose there. I would hope not. I just kind of picked what sounded best. Temperance. Oh, that was underwater. That's probably our boat. Ship, not boat. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness. Low wages. Slim chance of safe return. Glory to be had in the event of success. Sounds perfect. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand is long since gone cold. Yeah, I'd rather coffee. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. Metronome ticks away steadily. It's harmless. A simple reminder of the time you've spent waiting. It stops. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. Standing. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. The captain. Do you have all of your teeth? That's, I mean, depending on the year we're talking about, that is not a bad question. It's a good way to gauge someone's health in the past. I have enough to get by. Apparently I'm Shaw. Can never be too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose people to. Yeah, specifically scurvy could make you lose teeth too, yeah. Are you speaking from experience? many people died under your supervision? So he's asking me this. I mean, I don't know what my position is or what's going on. I'm going to say none. Meaning you're either perfect for the job, a liar, or you've never been in command. Well, that's probably more correct. Which is it? The latter. Really? Command tests a person's mettle. Do you think you're ready? Is anyone really ready? Some more than others, it would seem. Please take a seat. Sit down. The chair is uncomfortably large. The seat feels worn. He's a pipe smoker. Like my grandpa. He has grandpa energy there, I'd say. I'm Captain Hunt. Pleasure is mine, Robin Shaw. He nods. Yeah, we could ask about the ship in the bottle. On your desk, what ship is that? Oh, this? Detailed, isn't she? Incredibly. An old sailor superstition. I hope you weren't waiting too long. It's fine. More like I'm fine. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. Yeah, keep listening. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? It's to be expected, surely. It just sounds like winter to me. I thought it blunt, but it's proven remarkable at weeding out the weak and the pretend. I have a few questions first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or sea dog? Okay, well, we have some options. Landlubber. It's interesting that there's different icons. I'm assuming this is kind of my backstory that we're preparing. So I'm from the city, the ocean, same as yourself, mixed. If I knew I'd tell you, I've been all over. Personally, yeah, I'm more landlubber, but I grew up on coastal cities all the time. Well, mainly one. And traveled around extensively going fishing and stuff, but mostly not in boats or ships. Yeah, I'm from the city. From the city, but made my way to sea eventually. Military experience? So we have different backstories we could be. I feel like, potentially like past merchant sailor kind of makes sense. Sailed the merchant lines 12 years. Very good. What did you trade in? Fruit? That seems kind of odd. I would think that like it would be sort of cotton. At this point, cotton, rum, sugar, tea, like these kind of things would be the main things. Furs, that kind of stuff. He is wearing a big, I just noticed, like, it looks like a very nice England summer day, and he's wearing this massive coat. Let's just go anything we could get our hands on. He nods. Have you ever fired a weapon? Oh, absolutely. Yes. Have you ever killed a man, directly or otherwise? No. You're not married, are you? Do I want my character to be married, I guess? If he's been a merchant for 12 years, I feel like probably he would be. Happily. Are you sure they're fine with you leaving for this long? We need the money. I understand. However, one must believe they'll return to justify leaving any family in the first place. Yours is counting on that. Yeah, let him continue. We're here to find the ship in that bottle. The Viscount. I don't know if it should be Viscount or Viscount. I think it's Viscount. Heard of it? No, enlighten me. clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition towards the Dead Peninsula. Is that dead or dread? Did I misread that? They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. Okay, so we're going Antarctic. Did they? Did they what? Did they find it? Magnetic south? I have no idea. She never came back. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Her last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumed lost to the ice. And we're supposed to be chasing this ship, or they're probably all dead. Let's go 5 years is a bit late for a rescue operation. They're probably dead. Alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. And we're supposed to be chasing that research? Exactly. We'll let him continue. Here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it first left port. Until now? Until now. Someone was found who claims to have been on that ship. Where are they now? Dead, but their testimony seems to have outlived them. Those with more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will, and, well, my judge of character's gotten me this far. I mean, all these are good questions. He's actually winking at me, I guess, or he's having a stroke. What of our crew? Quite the mix, a work in progress. Some I've known for years, they get in on trust and experience. Others, well, they interview. Any impressed you? That remains to be seen. We do have transport, though. We'll be traveling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty. Greenwood, generational. Not many like it left these days. The Viscount and the Temperance. They're sister ships, built together. Sent out into the world to die alone. Poetic. Indeed. I like to think one calls out for the other. Well, that's getting into some horror movie territory right there. The captain looks at the bottled ship. So what do you think? Sounds like you'll need all the help you can get. We will. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We'll leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shah. Proverbially speaking. Don't you need more information? Not if I'm a captain worth his salt. I work with people, not professions. I'd sooner trust a good carpenter than a cruel sailor to save me from drowning. Yeah, good point. But alas, I'll see you on the Temperance. So we have some cruel sailors. I've got a good feeling about you, Shaw. Thank you, Captain. Captain makes his way to the door, and you follow. Yeah, like the captain. You arrive at the docks a month to the day. Before you lies a ship. The letter on its side reads Temperance. So we only have one option here. Approach the Temperance. Walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. Speak to the man. Turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. Yeah, again, I don't think they'd be wearing all this stuff yet. Landborn. Templeton. It's good to see someone else with land legs. Must be Hunt's pick for first mate. He extends an arm. Richard Templeton, a pleasure. Shake his hand. You accept his offer of a handshake. It is a considered shake. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider yourself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. What did you specialize in? Applied botany. We're looking for magnetic south, so is there even a magnetic south? I'm not sure if there's a magnetic south. I think that like, there can't actually be a magnetic south, is there? That would kind of mess up compasses, I would assume. Unless it pushes needles away from it, whatever. But if he's a botanist, that doesn't really help us find magnetic south or the research we're looking for. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's reassuring. Let's just say I'm looking forward to working together. I expect you to be up for the task. Some of the layabouts Hunt hired are questionable at best. No doubt I needn't inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. Though I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rabble I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be the organized sort. You would not have been assigned the role otherwise. Yeah, it's minus 10. I feel like that's unlikely if we're in England. Yeah, I'm not sure which is the best. Like, this might tick him off, but it's probably more true. Yeah, let's say sea folk are known to be unruly. I'll do my best to keep them in line. Just kind of telling him that, not necessarily how I'm going to be acting towards them. We'll see. Good to hear. Let me know when you're ready to depart. And make sure to savor these last moments on land. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. So, okay, it's not actually like moving in and of itself. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming this is where we're at here. This is when we're setting sail, but that seems kind of weird. Like, why would we set sail right as night is approaching? So we have a young man here, the city, the Temperance. I mean, we can kind of look. We'll look back at the city. We'll be gone for quite a while. It'll be some time before you see the city again. Doesn't seem like that moved it at all. Maybe conversations and things. If we look at the Temperance, does that mean I'm going to go aboard and look around? I guess we'll look at this guy here. A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. Alright. I mean, I can understand. Going to be gone for a long time. Probably first time leaving home, if you're quite young. The Temperance. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. Nearly identical to the Viscount, barring some modern additions. So we've got a steam boiler, it looks like, plus the sails. Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know what the meaning of this is. It's not giving me any contextual prompts or clues when I hover over anything either. Alright, let's set sail. Week 1. Okay, it's been a month. A hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely souls need lead. What will you do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? Lead these souls, so help the gods out of the pale beyond. First Mate Shaw, personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on, and 1 week since we've set aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. I've never seen a ship, I've never been on a ship like this before. Technical marvel. Elegant machinery, expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life, she's simply magnificent. I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all this. Certainly not the captain. Such exquisite modifications to the ship mustn't have come cheap. I need to investigate further. As for its master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. The captain seems a trustworthy sort. Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who make out the other end of the naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his vigor. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely make it out. I've heard the rumors, drinking, desertion. There's probably a good reason he's dressed in antiques. I do find myself warming to the man. As for the rest of the crew, there are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice, to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. They smell terrible. I've sailed with worse. We came across all kinds of trading with merchants, but rarely this split. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Okay, I don't know if that's me or that's the sailor. Yeah, it must have been him. Captain wants you at the helm. I'll head there now. He leaves. Yeah, I don't think this is moving as I kind of wait to make decisions and things. It could be moving very, very slowly. That's possible. Crow's Nest, Forecastle. Yeah, I mean, if he wanted us, we'll just go straight to him. You ascend the stairs to stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin, lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. It's like, why be a jerk? There's all these like jerk responses and stuff. It's kind of odd. Indeed. It's days like these I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. Let him continue. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Did you ever take the helm in the merchant navy, or were you stuck carrying crates? Here, why don't you have a try? Sure. Take the wheel. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Yep, it's a whole lot of nothing. You can't really see a whole lot. It's fairly cloudy. Some nice sunlight reflecting off the waves, though. Easy. There, you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. You can zoom. Peaceful, isn't it? It does kind of like if I move it so we're a bit more center, it does sort of push back. At this far zoomed out, I can't really move it much. Panning and zooming speeds can be adjusted in the settings menu. Well, that's wonderful. Okay, he takes the wheel back from you. Hopefully we don't have to like look around and do stuff really quickly. I kind of want a more relaxed experience than that. I think they'll drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Alright. So, we want to get a view of the entire ship, if possible. It would be nice, just in general. He asked me to do that. That's what I'm going to do first. So we'll head to the captain's cabin. Alright. While we're here, we can take a quick look around. Painting. Classical painting depicting sailors doing battle with a kraken. I guess they're tentacles. I just thought those were waves, but I guess not. You're unsure You're unsure if it's of any historical significance, though. Recognize the ship as the galleon of Captain Hamish. Yeah, they really need to have somebody do a pass of the grammar and spelling of this stuff. I thought at this point all that would be fixed. Desk, take requests. Don't know what that would be. Tub. Well, that's awfully fancy. A pristine furnished tub secured to the floor. A luxury to be had on the ice. For sure. The desk. On the desk, you make out a variety of papers, notes, and maps, as well as a sealed letter with a stamp you recognize as the mark of the Apperton Tinning Company. Uh-oh. So that was something, one of the theories about what went wrong with the Franklin expedition is that possibly the sealant used on the cans, they actually would like melt metal on them to seal them, and they used lead. So that's one of the thoughts about what went wrong or why people started doing unusual things, which led them to possibly not ever making it off the ice. They're one of the 2 ships that disappeared and weren't found for a very, very long time, although there were rumors about them, and then their bodies of some of them were found, records of some of them were found. It's what the show The Terror was based on. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. Oh, okay, that's what that is. Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. In a way, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know what the take requests is. That advanced time. You take a seat at the end of the room. The captain joins you. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls signed onto this expedition, ourselves included. That's 16 free to be assigned to tasks if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. You're only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. Well, that's odd. So we've only found 3 different crew members. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at the next port. A lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. What is this? Morale, maybe? The expedition will end tearing itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. Okay, so it's decorum. We have enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. If you cannot afford the minimum food rations at the end of the week, crew will become malnourished. Unless cured, malnourished will develop into scurvy, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of a week. And more than enough fuel to see us there and back again. Colder temperatures will increase the minimum fuel required at the end of a week. If you cannot afford the minimum fuel, crew will become freezing. Unless cured, freezing status effect will develop into frostbite, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of a week. The sledding dogs, well, they're still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Sending hunts out further requires a greater amount of dogs. They will rest and become available between the weeks. You could still send people out to like hunt seals and stuff, I would assume. That's something they used to do in Canada, off like Newfoundland and stuff. Like ships would drop people off on the ice and they'd go hunt seals and then walk their way across the ice back to boats and stuff. Kind of crazy, but people did it. Now on to work. Corvid and Cordell. I don't know who this person is. Don't look like either one. I guess that's Corvid. A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. The captain studies them further. You know where we're heading, don't you? I do, sir. His name's Runt. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside that crate? I did, sir. Ah, how old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true. I can pull my weight, sir. Do you You know your jibbin from your bowsprit? I do. I learned it all from my da. I guess you're Irish then. Your da? He's Ward's son. Followed him on board back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? I think Ward should look after him if Ward's here. Well, Shaw? Hunt eyes you up. Your first mate, what should we do with him? We don't really have anywhere to drop him off, potentially. If his father's on the boat, his father should be responsible. I'd keep him aboard. Hunt squints. Why? Yeah, so you need all the help you can get. This young man wants to help. It wasn't that unusual to have teens and stuff on boats back then. Alright, boy, consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will. Thank you, sir. It's not like we can dump him off someplace. Captain, not sir. Hi, Captain. Stowaway joins the two sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Well, it seems the litter has a new runt. I hope the rest don't mind sharing their rations. So we have another crew member, but that also means potentially less food for everybody. What of the father? I could see splitting the pay, but not the rations. I doubt he intended this to happen. We'll keep an eye on them both. I suppose you're right. Well, that matter's sorted. So I wonder if each day we have some unusual things. Hey, doggos! Cordell. Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, huh? Shaw, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island, but you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel, it's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. Never before has a seller made such strong demands. What exactly are the demands? She demands we allow her to come along on the expedition, as a member of the crew. None of the ship have the experience and familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you're taking them to such brutal location, they'll need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, Shaw. We've just accepted a stowaway. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? Yeah, I don't see the harm in having an expert on the sled dogs. And if it helps us get more food, it covers any additional food we're getting, or we're going to have to shell out for her. A good point, Shaw. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management, running, or ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs effectively enough to haul them. And I'd like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. I'm assuming she probably is. I'll say, welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Invaluable. I'll have a room prepared for you below deck. So more crew. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle with the dogs. It's actually forecastle or something they would say, but she leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, Shaw. 14 available dogs. Alright. Well, that's it. We'll finish the requests. Now that that's all settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck after dinner? Hefty lads, red hair. Couldn't mistake them for another. Stoke brothers, who are they? You haven't met all the crew yet. The Stokes have been serving me for years. They'll be down in the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Alright. Well, I think that's a good place to stop for our first video. We've kind of made a little bit of progress and made our first decisions, which I'm assuming a lot of it is going to come down to that. So yeah, we've got a good number of dogs, food, fuel, everyone's fine. We've met some of the crew, need to meet the rest. Alright, so this has been more, well, the beginning of The Pale Beyond. I've been Disturbing Puppet. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I'll see you all again next time. Until then, have a good one.